Coming up on Torrance Today, parents of young children can sign up now for the dual immersion program at a couple of our Torrance elementary schools. Looking for your artwork, photo, or writing project to gain some recognition and maybe even win some prize money? Several competitions are taking place right now. And cherry blossoms are blooming again as we count down to a milestone year for the city's annual festival celebrating these beautiful flowers. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, the first day of February. I hope you're having a great start to the new month. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's our first story. Starting this week, parents of incoming kindergartners and transitional kindergartners can sign up to have their kids learn in 2 languages. The Torrance Unified School District's dual immersion program expanded to include TK students this year, and officials hope to continue expanding the program to more schools.
We know that when children are young, their brains are like sponges, and so it's such an important time that not only can they learn and speak in their native language, but when talking to peers, they can also learn both languages, and that can actually put them on the path to biliteracy.
Our hope is to add 50 additional students to the program. They must start in TK and Kinder. As the program grows, we'll expand it to additional elementary schools in the district, and we anticipate that the program will basically just double every year as we move on. It's a great thing. I'm jealous that my children didn't have that opportunity when they went through Torrance Unified. Students who learn, read, and write and speak in 2 different languages actually score better in their native languages when they go through a dual immersion program.
Students can also earn a state seal later in their educational career. It shows they have gone above and beyond and really immersed themselves in learning a new culture and language. Spots are limited for TUSD's dual immersion program. You can learn more about it at the upcoming Family Information Nights for kindergarten and pre-K students. The first of 4 meetings begin tonight at 5:30 p.m. at Torrance High School. Torrance students have just a few more days to apply for a special scholarship. It's called Visions of Unity, and awards are given out to those who excel in arts and literature.
What we were able to accomplish with this is to give young people the opportunity to talk about their ideas and their ideals, about diversity, inclusiveness, belonging, and not only were we giving young people an opportunity to use arts as arts were being eliminated from schools, but also using the voices of these young people to reach the community, the leaders of the community, the school, and to hear what young people were saying. And we've had almost 900 winners that have received their opportunity to read their work, show their artwork, and to receive checks, award checks for the work that they've done.
We started this in the year 2000, thinking it would be a good 1 year or 2 year. Well, we've been going for 22 years now, and it's for all the high school students in Torrance. The arts bridge any kind of language barrier, and Torrance is very multicultural, and everybody can enjoy music, whether it's vocal, whether it's instrumental, and come together for those types of things. So I think it's critical that we have that, and we do in Torrance.
The deadline to apply is Monday, February 6th. For details, just log on to visionsofunity.com. Congressman Ted Lieu announced another competition focused on showcasing students' artistic talents. This one is called the Congressional Art Competition, and every 9th to 12th grader who lives or goes to school in District 36, including here in Torrance, can apply. Drawings, mixed media, paintings, and photography are just some types of artwork that can be submitted. The deadline is February 24th, that's Friday, so you have a few weeks left. For questions, just visit the Congressman's special website for this competition. If you love taking photographs, here's a way to get recognized for your work. The South Bay City's Council of Governments recently announced its second annual I Love the South Bay photo contest. The organization is looking for artistic and creative shots of South Bay landmarks, such as a bridge, a historical building, or even a statue. Entries must be received by 5 p.m. on Friday, February 10th. Well, I am not a professional photographer by any means, but I took some pictures over the weekend of my favorite flowers that are starting to bloom again in our city. One cherry blossom tree in my neighborhood is starting to come back to life as we count down to the city's 10th annual Cherry Blossom Festival. Here are a couple of visitors I met at last year's event at Columbia Park.
We just wanted to experience a little bit of the culture. Like Japanese, we love cherry blossoms. This is my first time seeing them up close and personal, so it's really beautiful, I think, for everyone that I'm here with today.
It's really beautiful to see it in person and, just experience the blossoming, the breeze.
Mark your calendars for Sunday, March 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The free festival will have lots of multicultural performances and demonstrations. Those interested in performing can call Tadashi Masumoto at 310-618-3844. The city has a new interactive map that helps drivers stay on top of road projects taking place throughout our city. The 405 on and off ramps at 182nd Street between Crenshaw Boulevard and Van Ness Avenue will be shut down for an entire month starting mid-February as workers continue to make progress on the freeway expansion project. That's an example of a notice you may see on the city's traffic impacts map. City leaders hope more drivers will use the map to plan their commutes throughout the city. To view current traffic impacts, visit torranceca.gov/traffic impacts. Well, it's that time of the year when home heaters are causing a lot of home fires. So the National Fire Protection Association is urging the public to be extra careful when using those devices, as nearly half of all U.S. home heating equipment fires take place during the winter months. An average of more than 44,000 home heating fires occurred each year between 2016 and 2020, leading to 480 deaths, almost 1,400 injuries, and $1 billion in direct property damage. Officials say space heaters are mostly responsible for home heating equipment fires. They remind everyone to make sure space heaters are in good working order, use the right kind of fuel for fuel-burning space heaters, and keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away from all heating equipment. Well, we love it when our community members take proactive measures to keep our neighborhoods safe. The Torrance Fire Department recently trained a group of new volunteers through its Community Emergency Response Training, or CERT, preparing them for large-scale emergencies that could take place at any time.
So the CERT program has been established for almost 2 decades. The reason why we educate our community in the realm of the CERT program is just to make sure that they could be self-sufficient in a matter of 48 to 72 hours in case there's a natural disaster. So if there's a natural disaster, the resources that the City of Torrance provides can also be cut thin. The resources being the fire department, as well as the police department and any other essential occupations that's necessary to respond to any type of emergency. The essential education that we provide our students is not only to be self-sufficient, but also knowing how to work with each other in a triage situation. Now, triage situation, and there's victims scattered anywhere and everywhere, at least the neighbors can work with each other, create an IC program or an IC step, and work with each other as emergency response as a CERT team. Everybody that's behind me that's part of this CERT program is taking education from this program and now spreading that education within their families and also their fellow neighbors.
I would absolutely recommend this program to anybody because it empowers you. You don't have to be afraid in a situation. You can go out there and help your residents that are in your neighborhood. This is all about treating what's around you until you can get the first responders in that are needed. So it's empowering each one of us to be able to do more and be a part of this community.
The 3-day course taught participants about what to do before, during, and after an area-wide emergency. The Torrance Fire Department is also in the middle of training a new group of 15 recruits. Good luck to them as they learn what it takes to become a firefighter here in our city. Well, still ahead, it's Wise Wednesday, and we join a group of community members who have priceless stories to tell when we come back in 60 seconds. At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to share a positive story that fits the theme for the day. On this Wise Wednesday, we listen in as some of our city's most deeply rooted residents gather together inside the Torrance Historical Society and Museum to share stories and conversations about our hometown.
History is, as always, the stories of who we are and where we've been. And if you gather a bunch of folk together and they begin talking, they share the history and the stories they remember and create a pattern that really is the history of the city of Torrance.
We just had people sitting around in a circle, started off with one good story, which led to another story and another story, and nearly, I think almost everybody that was here shared some kind of a story with us today.
The subject I'm here to talk about is the KNX radio transmitter located on Hawthorne Boulevard and 190th Street. In 1965, some vandals cut one of the guy wires on the tower, a 480-foot tall tower, and that tower fell and put the radio station off the air. The radio station was cut off the air for 24 hours. In order to get the station back on the air as quickly as possible, the Edison Company came in with two 100-foot wooden poles. They put them into the ground 120 feet apart, strung a wire between the antennas, and the radio station was able to get back on the air within 24 hours with a reduced amount of power, about 1/5 the normal amount of power that they would normally broadcast. In a couple of weeks, they were able to find a used tower at another radio station, KFAC, and they put that tower up, and that became a temporary tower until they were able to put up a new 500-foot tower, and now they're back on the air.
This was a really unique event at the Historical Society and Museum. They usually have a designated presenter who speaks, but this time every attendee could share something interesting that happened here in Torrance. As you can see, there was a great turnout, and organizers hope to do this again in the next month or two. Stay tuned by checking out the calendar at torrancehistoricalsociety.org. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torrancetoday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great day.